Number one, again, I'm going to read the list as it's in the Gemara. When you look at the Rambam, the Rambam's list is a little different, and it's just a nice piece of information to do some research why the Rambam did it different. Number one, the Gemara says, Bezdin makim va'onshim. You need to have that there should be a Bezdin, a court, that punishes. In other words, we want to have law and order. We need to have Seder. On a Seder, just Wildkeit, it can be dangerous. Number two, Kupa shel tzedakah, nigbis b'shnayim, u'mischalekes b'shloisha. We're not going to learn now Hilchas Tzedakah, but in Hilchas Tzedakah we know that for it to be a proper accounting and honesty and trustworthy, we need to have honest gaboyim, and no person could do fundraising himself, because you never know if he's honest. There's ganzen dinim in who's trusted to be a fundraiser. That's for Hilchas Tzedakah. But the concept that there is a kupa shel tzedakah, we want to, if you're going to choose a community, there has to be a community that there is a proper kupa shel tzedakah. What's a proper kupa shel tzedakah? Where it gets collected by two people, so it's trustworthy people, it's not a single person pocketing money, and it gets distributed by three people. That's a din in Hilchas Tzedakah. Number three, again, the order could be discussed. Is it in Seder of importance? Right now, we're just quoting it as it is in Gemara. Obviously, a Beis HaKnesses. You need to have a shul. You should not live in a place where there's no shul. And eventually, we'll get to the importance of davening in a shul, even if you may have a minyan in your house. There is an Indian to go specifically into a shul because of a shachen toiv, because of roiv am, etc., as we'll get to it hopefully by the end of this year. Ubeis hamerchatz. And the next thing is you need a bathhouse. Obviously, a lot of these things are not applicable today because today we have bathrooms and showers. Ubeis hakisei. Ubeis hakisei is a outhouse. We have a Baruch Hashem, we have this luxury. Roifei. Roifei, Rashi says it means a moihel. The Rambam actually says it means a doctor. So you should be close to a hospital. If you live far away, and God forbid somebody gets sick, you're in trouble. V'uman. Uman is somebody who's able to make his dam, take out blood. Again, it's just, there is a machlokes gersois, if it's roifei uman or it's just two separate people. V'lav levar. Lav levar is a sofer. V'tavoch. Tavoch is a butcher, food. Umalame tenoikis, and malame tenoikis is a teacher. Rabbi Akiva says, af mine peria, you also have to be able to get fruit. And there's actually a Gemara in Eruvin that says you also have to be close by to be able to get vegetables, because you have to be able to have food. All right. Now, the Rambam, as I mentioned before, you get the point from this list. You can't live out in the boondocks where you can't get food, you can't get medical supplies. You have to, this is pashut praktish geret. Some of these things may not apply today. Bathrooms we have, maybe if you say the online schooling has solved a lot of issues. We're close enough to shuls. We have Baruch Hashem stores everywhere, but you have guidelines with what to deal with. When the Rambam says the list, just for the sake of the lumdis, I'll tell you the way the Rambam puts the list, so you should appreciate this. 1 second, please. And I'm guessing it's because of who the Rambam was. The Rambam, number one on the list, he puts Roifei. The Gemara puts Bezdin number one on the list. Look at the Rambam puts more gashmiistic things on the list first. The Gemara puts all ruchniistic things. It's interesting. The Rambam puts number 1, Roifei. Number 2, Uman. Number 3, Beis Merchatz. All hygiene things, cleanliness, health. 4, Beis Merchatz, Beis Hakisei. And number 5, he even puts something in that doesn't even say in our Gemara. Mayim Mitzuyim. There has to be accessible water. There has to be water available. I mean, obviously, it makes sense. You can't live in a place where there's no drinking water. Number 6, Beis HaKnesses. Number 7, Malam B'Tanekis. Number 8, Lav Lavar. Number 9, Gabet Staka. Number 10, Bezdin. So it works, Punk Kapidrach. What the Gemara puts number 1, the Rambam puts number 10. All right, so here we have our list. Very good. So we have a shtickle guideline. Where we choose where we should go. As if we have these things in a community, that means it's not some hick town. You could move there. Not necessarily true. There is a Gemara in Psachim, Daf Kuf Yud Beis, a very interesting Gemara. Again, showing you how practical Torah is. Just beautiful. The Gemara says like this: Tana Rabbanan, Shiva Dvarim Tziva Rabbi Akiva Es Rabbi Yeshua Benoi. There are 7 things that Rabbi Akiva told his son Rabbi Yeshua. And most of the opinions say it's Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. This is in Gemara Psachim Daf Kuf Yud Beis Amid Aleph. I'm only going to quote 2 of the things that are Negeah to us. Number 1, the first one is Negeah to Talmidei Chachamim, those who sit and learn. The Willst lernen, and you're looking to buy a house, sitz man nicht in Manhattan, on Park Avenue, sitz man nicht on Wall Street, and honking horns. If you want to learn Al Torah V'Al Avodah, and you need Menuchas HaNefesh, says Rabbi Akiva to Rabbi Yeshua, Al Teishev Begoiva Shel Ir V'Tishna. Do not sit on the high point of the city and study. You're never going to be able to learn. Find yourself a calm area. Find yourself a house where will be relaxed place. Dort wirst du keine lernen. Don't go to a noisy area. Practical. Fine. That's if you want to learn. How about any other practical advice? Listen to this. V'al tadur be'ir sherasheh talmidei chachamim. Do me a favor. I added those words. Do me a favor. Do not live in a city if the people leading the city are talmidei chachamim. If the mayor of the city is a Talmid Chacham, you won't have sewer water. What does a Talmid Chacham know? What about sewer water? He won't fix the bridge. If the mayor of the city is learning Daf Yomi every day, how is he going to know to fix the airport? Versteht doch, he's a mufshit. Practical advice. Rabbi Akiva tells Rabbi Yeshua, do not live in a city that the mayor, that the Rashah Atalmidei Chachamim, Rashi says it as it is. The Tarid Begirsa, the mayor is going to be busy learning. V'lei Tarid B'mili de Tzibura. He's not going to be busy in community matters. Very simple. You can't believe the Gemara is saying this. The Gemara is saying this. Halacha is saying, Torah is saying this. Now, how could Torah say it? We put Talmidei Chachamim on a pedestal. We put Torah on a pedestal. Talmidei Chachamim. And yet we're saying that they should not be the Rashah. Yeah. They should be the Talmidei Chachamim. They should be the shir givers. They should be our leaders and who we look up to. But to pay the sewer bill, to make sure that there's lights, That's not who they. That's not their job. They don't understand it. Oy vavoy if they take care of that. And you should not live there. That they'll semish kashem et barsht. But you also have to know. Don't run away. Don't ignore the fact. It's very, very, very important that there should be Talmidei Chachamim. It's very, very, very important that there should be a Talmidei Chachamim. The Gemara in Brachos, can you stop this? The Gemara in Brachos, Daf Ches, the Gemara says a fascinating thing. The Gemara in Brachos, Daf Ches, and Aleph says, La'olam, obviously again, this is not if you're going on Shlichus. If you're going on Shlichus, you're going b'koyach ha'mishaleach. And like the Rebbe would always say, you're not only going b'koyach ha'mishaleach. The Rebbe would always say, your futzu ma'inasecha chutz. It doesn't mean that the Mayan stays in 770 and there's a pipe going out. The Mayan itself is in wherever you are. So the Rebbe himself is there, is where you are in Shlichus. But if you're just looking to leave and you're looking to establish a home elsewhere, and this is what you're giving advice to a person not going in Shlichus. So the Gemara says, La'olam yadur adam b'makayim rabbi. Gemara Brachos. A person should always, Chelik Aleph. A person should always live, Brachos Chelik Aleph. A person should always live b'makayim rabbi, where his Rebbe lived. Why should he always live b'makayim rabbi? Listen to this very simple advice. Says the Gemara, Shekol zman sheshimi ben Gera kayam, because as long as Shimi ben Gera was alive, Loi nasa shleima as bas parei. Shleima HaMelech, Chacham mikol adam, the son of David HaMelech, was held in check. He was held. He didn't do anything wrong because his Rebbe. The Gemara says that the Gemara in Gittin says. In Gittin Daf Nun Tes it says that Shimi ben Gera was Shleima HaMelech's Rebbe. So as long as Shimi ben Gera was alive, Shleima didn't do anything wrong. As long as Shleima was there. But when Shimi ben Gera left, Shleima goes on and marries Bas Parei. So the Gemara asks, really? V'hatanya al yadur? I don't understand. You're telling me a person should live next to his Rebbe. A statement earlier, it says you should not live next to your Rebbe. So when yeah, when no. Listen to this. And for the Gemara, you're right. Loi kasha. Ha the kayafle, ha the loi kayafle. Listen to Rashi. Im kafuf hule rabbi. This is a tremendous lesson. Im kafuf hule rabbi. If you're ibig gegeben to your Rebbe, if you're going to listen to your Rebbe, as Rashi says, likabel teichachasoi, if whatever your Rebbe says, you are going to listen to, yadur etzloi, you should live next to your Rebbe, and the Rebbe will keep you in check, and the Rebbe will lead you in the right direction, and live next to your Rebbe and love mitten Rebbe. V'im lav, and Ribono Shalom, if you don't listen to your Rebbe, toiv le'israchek mimenu, move away, lebnish Rebbe. Why? Because demost v'yehi shoygeg, because by then v'stazayna shoygeg v'al yiyem ma'izid. Next Rebbe, you have your Rebbe telling you what to do. You're a rebel. Rahman al-Islam, you're a rebel. Not a rebel, a rebel. If you don't live next to your Rebbe, you're a shaygig. At least you won't be as bad. So, be by a Rebbe. If you're kafuf to a Rebbe, you're the Reitz Rabbi. If you're not kafuf to your Rebbe, you should move away. Again, practical advice. Weitergegangen. In Pirkei Avos, we know the famous Mishnah. Abaisa, it looks like today we're giving way too much Agadata. Okay? Agadata, I think, is Moshech the Lev. Maybe that will help out. I saw the Shaila about mikveh. We'll see what if it will answer it this time. If not, I'll get to it. Blin Eben. Next time. In Pirkei Avos, there is the famous Mishnah that the Rebbe quotes many sichos. Perek Vav, Mishnah Tes. Perek Vav, Mishnah Tes. Omar Rab Yosi ben Kismo. Pamachas hayisi mahalech b'derech. I was once walking. Pamachas hayisi mahalech b'derech. Right? Famous Mishnah. And what happened? And you know the whole long story. And somebody tried to convince me to move to another city, and he was going to give me elef alafim dinrei zav. Oh, he was going to bribe me. And the response was, "Imatanoisnli kol kesef v'zav avanim toives umagarli yeshabeolam." It sounds like guzmis and you give me all the money in the world. Eini dar ela b'mkaim Torah. I'm only going to live in a Mokim Torah. As he quotes the pasuk, "V'chein kasev b'sefer Tilim ayidei David Melech Yisrael, toiv li teiras picha me'alfei zav v'chesef." Right? And one of the Perushim I saw beautifully. Why not? The chayra, if the guy is willing to pay, maybe he would have tremendous influence. Maybe the influence he would have, the guy's willing to give himself, he's giving him so much money, obviously they want him that bad. Maybe he would have a hashpah. And the answer is, if the yesoid is a yesoid that's dependent on gelt, it's ain't like him. The yesoid has to be a yesoid on Torah. If the yesoid of your moving, if the yesoid like the Rebbe would always write in the michtav to a chasna and kala, al yesoid ha-Torah va-mitzvah. If your binyan building a new home has a yesoid of Torah mitzvah, it's everlasting. If it's a yesoid of kol avanim tevis umagali shaba'ilam, saluft, it's coming and going. It's garnish vert. I want a yesoid of Torah mitzvahs. All right. So the stress is that we have to create a sviva. You have to find mokim rabbi. You have to find the sviva of a mokim Torah. That's where you choose to live. So there's a beautiful, wonderful sikha that it's pashit, a must for everybody to learn. There's two sikhas that speak about this concept. There's a sikha in Chelik Lamed Gimel, Amud 11, and a sikha in Chelik Yud Tes, Amud 62, where the Rebbe speaks about the concept of a shachin toiv. Now, the reason why I'm heading this direction is because we're speaking about the effect of you're looking where to choose to live. So, in our drasha here, we're saying you have to live in a Makom Torah. You're choosing a place where Eini Dar El B'Mkaim Torah. Why is it so important? because your surrounding has a tremendous effect. Who says that? So we have this in many ways. Now, the Rebbe in Chelik, what did I say? In Chelik Lamed Gimel, Amid 11, says, the Pa'ula, I'm going to read B'Lashon Harav. The Rebbe says, the Pa'ula of a Shachin, the Pa'ula of a neighbor on his neighbor is one of three ways. Matzinu kama oifanim, could be in many ways. Number one, Pa'ulas hashachin, hi be'inyin chitzayni legamri. It's just external. He's my neighbor. It really doesn't really affect me. For example, says the Rebbe, Kegoin, Shaschar shel hatzadik, nimshach gam l'shchenoi. Sometimes, when the neighbor is a good boy, if the neighbor is a tzaddik, sometimes the whole community benefits from the neighbor. Or, on the flip side, if the neighbor is wicked, if the neighbor is a rasha, everybody gets punished. We know lahavdil, that way also in taxes. It goes up, the whole neighborhood goes up, or the whole neighborhood goes down. And the Rebbe brings a raya lahavdil from the Gemara. The Gemara says in Masechta Sukkah, the konsil the whole mishmar kuloi, the whole mishmar of the koyanim got punished because of a situation of a Miriam, a Yiddish girl, Rachmana litzlan, that converted, Miriam Bas Bilga, that converted, and she said terrible things. So that whole mishmar got punished because something is fishy. If she behaved that way, everybody in that mishmar must be, something is wrong. So everybody got punished because of her. That is a trickle-down effect. One type of shachin. Beis, says the Rebbe, no, it's not a trickle-down effect. It's deeper a little. Pa'ulas hashachin, he pa'ula pnimius. A shachin it penetrates a little more. Koloimar, not only it's a trickle-down effect, shu mishana es oifen hanagase shel shchenei. Guess what? When my neighbor behaves certain ways, it actually, I start behaving that way sometimes too. Va'ad shemishana gamas mohusoi. When I see him behaving that way, eventually I behave that way. So it affects me. The first one is, says the Rebbe, it doesn't really affect me. I get punished because of him. The second one is, it affects me too. But then, number 3 says the Rebbe, asach tifer. And this is a gewaldige Wort. When you are choosing a neighborhood to establish your home, why would a person choose a place